if it's happening in New York or across the globe. Learn why it matters first on Kevin McCullough Radio.
So glad you're with us, and thankful that we can every single day help obliterate confusion, amplify some truth, pursue some clarity, and to help to make things make more sense to you. And I'm really grateful for the people this hour that have done that. Joy Pullman right at the start, and Kate Anderson just helping to explain the Barronell case from the Supreme Court today. It's a valuable process and resource that we offer to you, and the amount of information that you get here. And that's why you're telling more and more and more people every single day. And we're grateful. We see that. We know that you're there, and we're with you in that pursuit. So thank you for being here. On Monday, we always like to talk about what's going on in the markets and your money and what's happening. And I'm excited that David Fischer is back with us. He's the CEO of Landmark Capital. He's helping make some things crystal clear for people that have had a tough time seeing them. And he's got a new newsletter that's coming out next week talking about his 8 previous predictions, his most recent 8. He's got a lot more than that. His most 8 previous predictions that came to pass, and he's gonna let loose with a couple of new ones. So we'll see where all that goes. But if you want that newsletter, call Landmark today, 844-604-2575. David Fischer, welcome back. Good to have you.
Thank you for having me this afternoon on your program, Kevin.
The market is down again, and there's people that are saying this is all China, this is all tariffs. I got some email sent to me over the weekend. Harley-Davidson's moving its production to Europe for its EU models because of the tariffs. How long are these going to last? Is it starting a trade war? Are we seeing that begin to happen? And what is the response that we should take as investors?
Well, Washington says we're in a trade negotiations, and hopefully they can veer those off at the pass. But Wallstreet is saying, no, this looks more like a trade war. So there's this dichotomy that's going on, Kevin.
So it's versus what Washington says versus what Wall Street's doing.
Yeah, exactly. And so, the market, people invest with their money and they vote with their money, and they're not seeing this thing stopping soon. And really, the rhetoric is getting more ramped up than rather retracting. In fact, there was a very strong Trump supporter on CNBC saying that these trade wars could take into effect 2 to 3 years into the future. And so there's this big push that's happening between mostly the United States and China, although the European is kind of on the tailcoats of this. But China's stock market has gone down 3.2% last week. Our market in the Dow broke through a 200-day moving average, which I said is probably going to do this. And now it could actually go down to the next support level, which is 23,966. But this is China's retaliating to support their market by cutting their reserves by 0.5%. So it's unleashing about $700 billion to put into their economy. But China's preparing. They're even actually coming out in their newspaper that they might be going against Boeing, Apple, Nike, some big stocks that are trading in the Dow, which would wage war financially against us. And they don't want a trade war, they said in their newspaper, but they're preparing themselves for such. So China is also branching out with Europe and trying to create more trade negotiations and trade patterns with Europe to broaden their trade. So, and Europe is welcoming that. So this is going to go on for some time, it looks like.
So if the market is having these couple of hiccups because it ended the week this way and now it's down again, and if all of that is going to materialize and it doesn't look like it's not going to, how does the individual investor assess what this time frame that they're in right now? Is this a buying opportunity? Are we sidelining things? Are we massively dumping into commodities? What do we do at this point in time?
Well, you have to ask yourself, would you buy more at this level? If the answer is yes, then you stay in the market. If the answer is no, then you need to make some changes. I mean, you brought up Harley-Davidson. Harley-Davidson stock's down 27% in the last 3 years, down 6% just today. And this is all because they can't compete, and they lost 250 jobs here recently by making a decision to move a big factory over to Europe because they're the second largest buyer of bikes. So This is something that depends on what your belief system is, but there's a fight that's going on in the currency between the dollar and the yuan can go much lower than the dollar right now. So this makes our products more expensive, which makes the market not perform as much. So we're not doing the things that will support the stock market while the Fed is unwinding and raising rates, while China is doing the opposite. So it's going to be a very bumpy ride, and more so to the downside. Sidetrack your money, get some into cash, diversify. Don't be in one sector of the market. Utilities is a good thing. Staples usually do well during these things, and get some metals too.
Yeah. What is the likelihood that this begins that bubble bursting trigger that you've talked about so often? Is it going to be the tariffs that does it?
Well, I don't think so. It just depends on how long and how deep they go, Kevin. World Bank says this could be the thing that would trigger that. 45 economists saying that this will trigger recession. I'm not seeing that right now. We're not in a financial crisis. This is just a trade war, a fight who's going to be number one. And I'll be surprised if it does trigger the financial crisis, but that doesn't mean we're not on the cusp of a financial crisis. 1 to 2 headlines away if something major breaking could cause a financial crisis. It could be this, and there's people coming out, legendary investor Paul Tudor, saying that we're on the verge of another financial crisis. So this could be the catalyst.
All right. Well, that just sounds to me like if there are people that are, watching the markets and saying, hey, this is a little too turbulent for my blood, they really need to be talking to you and your advisors and friends. They're able to do that at 844-604-2575, 844-604-2575. But also go to am970theanswer.com and get the new financial survival guide for 2018. That'll also give you a ton of resources, including the white paper on the bubbles bursting, but also that new newsletter that comes out next week with David's previous 8 predictions that came to pass and his 2 new ones that he's going to make, and he gets pretty in-depth with them. Anyway, that's worth about $200. You can get that as well for free when you go to am970theanswer.com, the new financial survival guide, and you're automatically entered to enter the drawing to win the 1876 Liberty Gold coin that we'll be drawing on July 6th. David Fischer, thanks so much.
Thank you.